Hi, welcome. My name is Grace from Modica Yoga. Today's practice is to acknowledge and perhaps celebrate the autumn equinox. And for the practice, you will need a blanket or block, something comfortable to sit on, as the practice will be primarily breathing and meditation with just a little bit of movement as well. Hi, welcome. Today we find ourselves at the equinox. Equinox means equal night, which is of course because we're at the point of the year where we are literally on the threshold of darkness and light. And of course, if you're in the northern hemisphere, you're stepping away from a point of greater light and into a waning darkness. And to me, that equinox has always deserved consideration. And what the things that deserve consideration are the things that we take pause to consider, are the things that become sacred. Because sanctity is only defined by the fact that we take time to be reflective and reflect in it. We take time to acknowledge it. We take time to look and to consider its value. The last 6 months have contained, I think, for many of us, a great deal of challenges and a great deal of value as well. So it's like at this point, the equinox is the time to look back and see what has transpired over this time. What challenges have presented themselves? How have I greeted these challenges? How have I rose up in the light of the challenges? And perhaps now is the time to start letting go of some of the things that we are carrying along in the last 6 months. Perhaps now is the time that we can start to shift some of those, say, perspectives or attitudes or points of view, and instead let that move away so we can make room for something new. And it's always, being in a yogic attitude is always about, how do I make this work for me? How do I turn this challenge into something that can become an opportunity? The equinox is a time where we stop and we pause and we take consideration and we reflect back and ask ourselves, what am I ready to let go of? And what am I ready to move into? Begin to practice sitting cross-legged on the floor. And close your eyes for a moment just to attune yourself with your breath. Take this moment to pause and to consciously enter into the breath and enter into sort of that conversation of listening more carefully to your breathing. It often helps to deepen the breath enough that you're able to hear the resonant sound of your breathing. And then invite yourself to breathe a little deeper so that as you're receiving the inhale, the breath is filling into your belly and into your lower back. And there's a sense that the breath lifts you up a little bit so that the sides of your ribs lift up, the front of the chest lifts forwards. And then the head of the arm bones, the upper arms move back a little bit in space, so you're sitting a little taller. Just focus for a few cycles of your breath on the sound and the sense of your inhalation. Allow yourself to drink it in, breathe it in more fully, really receiving the gifts of the breath. And just shift your focus to the exhalation. So we become more acutely aware of the out-breath. And I'd like you to start to breathe out very completely so that there's a sense that as you let the breath go, at the bottom of the breath, your lower belly is going to contract and pull in, and you really try to completely exhale a full breath. And then notice that often on that exhalation, especially when we're exhaling very fully in this way, we tend to want to contract the body as well, like contract the shoulders forward. Instead of that, please keep a lift in the heart. So even as the breath moves out, we stay expansive, we stay full, we stay lifted and light. And keeping an awareness of your breath, both the inhale and the exhale. You can very gently flutter your eyes open. Let's begin by touching your right fingertips down onto the ground and stretching your left arm across your ear. Just very gently turn to look under the arm. And you may notice that as you reach over, the left hip tends to get a little bit lighter on the earth. So now anchor the outer left hip back down into the ground so you're sitting very heavy in the hips. But at the same time, breathe in. Lift the sides of your ribs more. Open up the space between your ribs, between the vertebrae of the spine, even into the underarm. Very spacious. Pause here. Let's enjoy 3 more deep breaths. Inhaling completely and exhaling fully. On your next inhalation, start to draw yourself back up into the center. Switch to the opposite side, touching down onto the earth. Swing your right arm across your ear. And kind of lean down into the sides of your ribs. And then you'll notice that the right hip, again, gets a little bit light on the earth. So root down into the outer right hip, letting yourself get heavy. And simultaneously, keep reaching out, stretching out. With each breath, invite more space. Invite yourself to become more spacious with the breath, more light with the breath. Let's stay for 2 more full breaths in, complete breaths out. Inhale fully. Exhale completely. Breathe in and breathe out. You'll push down into your hand to help you to come back up to the center. Perfect. Reach your left arm across the chest and root across all the way over to take the outside of the leg, anywhere is fine. And allow the right fingertips to touch down on the ground behind you. Draw a deep, full, light breath into the ribs, into the lungs, into the belly. And as you exhale that breath, twist back. You don't have to go far today, just a little twist. Start to mobilize the spine slightly. Pause and enjoy a deep breath in. And exhale, let the full breath go. Inhale, come back to the center. Switch your hands, cross over. And then take pause. And in the pause, allow yourself to receive a full breath in so you fill very consciously into your belly. Lift up at the breast so the heart is full. As you exhale that breath, turn back, look back. It's very gently gazing behind you. As though you're gazing back across the last 6 months, since the last time we had an equinox. And as you inhale, come back to the center. Very good. Pull your legs towards each other. We're going to spin around so we can see each other better. Place the soles of your feet on the ground and just wrap your hands together around your legs or your shins. And as you breathe in, lift the front of your chest forwards. So get nice and spacious. Allow your neck and your head to come back in space. As you exhale that breath, rounding your spine completely, pulling back so your arms straighten. Now lean back and then curl your chin towards your heart. And inhale, fluidly lift through the spine, through the heart, through your head, look up. And exhale, lean back, lean into it. Letting go. Receive a deep, full breath in, lift up. And exhale, and really try to let all of the weight drop back behind you. Chin towards your chest. Very good. Inhale, lift up. One more. Exhale, draw back. Inhale to come forwards. Good. Fingertips behind your back. And now take the soles of your feet together, like you'd go nice and wide, give yourself a lot of space. Now press a hand onto the ground behind you, just so you can lift up your hips for a moment, right off of the ground, and then kind of lean forward so you're sitting more on the front of the hips, more towards the front of the pelvis. And this way you're kind of tilting the pelvis slightly forward. Great. If you need to sit on a blanket to help you achieve this curve forward, then please do. Otherwise, wrap your hands onto your legs and take a deep breath in. Just pause for a moment. This class, this practice is all about taking pause, taking a moment to be inside of reflection and consideration. So pause and settle into that spaciousness, into the threshold of the breath. Feel your body start to settle into it a little bit. Let your legs relax. Your arms relax. Consciously relax your shoulders. Invite yourself to sort of surrender into the moment. And then start to round your spine. You're just going to curl yourself forwards and keep your hands on your legs or plant the palms onto the earth. Yes, and as you exhale, draw your chin towards your chest, round your spine, and curl toward the earth. Do not worry about how far you come. I'd love for you just to be very present, very conscious in this moment. Pause and take 2 more full deep breaths in, receiving in the breath, and as you exhale, you're going to let it all go. Deep breath in, let it all go. And then as you inhale, begin to walk your hands slowly, gently back towards you. Wrap your hands outside of the legs to pull the legs back towards each other. With your hands behind you, fingertips facing forwards, like this. Squeeze your shoulders back, so your upper back should be working a little bit. Lift up your heart, just slide your throat back a little bit of space. Take a deep breath in. Full breath out. Now they're going to stay just as you are. You're to challenge yourself a little bit, get a little bit more opening in the heart. You push down into your feet and just lift your hips up. The reverse table. Move to Kama. And keep squeezing the shoulders back. And then slide your throat back a little bit. Not so you're completely letting the head drop down, but rather just letting the earlobes move back in line with your shoulders. Take one more deep breath in. And let it all go, and as you exhale that breath, lower your hips back down toward the earth. Come forward. Spin yourself around. And now please take your blanket or any form of support. So we're going to be seated for a short time, and I'd love for you to feel very present. Okay, set yourself up so that you feel comfortable, using any props that are necessary for you, so that you can really allow yourself to be present in our meditation today. And when you are ready, close your eyes. Right away, allow your mind to settle into the breath. Allow your mind to become aware of this gentle ebb and flow of the breath. Sense the long, full inhale filling up your belly, your ribs, your lower back. And a long and complete exhale, very gently contracting the low belly so that your belly button is going to pull back slightly towards your spine. The breath out is very complete. Let's take a few cycles of breath to start to cultivate that fullness of breath. Let's start to pace our breath so that there is a sense of equilibrium between the inhale and our exhale. It's not uncommon for the breath to be unbalanced in that way. So to help assist us to do this, we're going to count our breaths for a few rounds. So we'll start with a count of 6. So I'm going to count the breaths for you, so you can just allow yourself to really enter into the breath, not worry about it. So begin by pairing our breath together, kind of aligning our breath together. So exhale all of the breath that's in your lungs. You're going to inhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. I'd like you to stay in that breath. It's on your own for a few more cycles. You don't have to count it, just let yourself feel like there's a sense of equilibrium between the breath, between the inhale and your exhale. We're going to add in a gentle pause. So the pause will be between breaths, so that when you reach the top of your inhale, I'd like you to stop just for a moment before letting the breath flow out. At the bottom of the exhale, pause before allowing the breath to flow in. You take pause at the thresholds of the breath, making space in that kind of moment to become more aware, more reflective. So try to maintain an awareness of the breath, allowing yourself to breathe in, fill up completely. At the top of the breath, we pause. And we let it go. Nice and slow. balance, sweet. Pause, the bottom of the breath. Inhale, fill ourselves up. Full breath in. The top of the breath, pause. And then exhale, let it go. The bottom of the breath, let go. Inhale, fill yourself up. Pause. Exhale. Pause. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. And stay in this awareness, keeping your breath very patient, long and sweet and spacious. Leave room between the breath, the pause. Keeping a delicate balance or delicate awareness of our breath. I invite you to bring forward to the forefront of your mind this question. What am I ready to let go of? What am I ready to let go of? Whether it be a perspective, an attitude, a way that we have been looking at our lives, looking at our experiences. Maybe we're ready to shift that perspective now. Maybe it's something more physical, a relationship, a job, the grief we've been holding for someone else. What am I ready to let go of? If nothing really presents itself, nothing kind of comes forward and speaks to you, it's okay. And just put the question out. And when the time is right, our hearts will kind of lean in and whisper to you. And if something does present itself, then welcome that into the forefront of your mind. Welcome it into your heart. See the way in which this perspective, this person, this thing, the way that it has served you. See the way that it held value in your life when you needed it. And perhaps you can also see the way in which you no longer need to hold it. See the way in which you are ready, you are ripe to let it go. And that which serves us may not always serve us. It's okay to let it go. Just let yourself really breathe into this, offering the breath into this experience, into any emotions you may have around it, whether it's grief or sadness, joy, confusion, frustration. We allow for all of it. Just breathe. Let yourself be really at home, really present inside of this experience, inside of this consideration. Let yourself be in the pause. The equinox is the time of transition. We only stay in this threshold for a very short time. And then it's time to step forwards into something new. Now begin to let go of that thought, let go of that consideration. Let that move towards the back of your mind for a moment. And in its stead, bring forward a vision for the future. See yourself taking a step forward. See yourself making space in your life for something new to enter. Make space for the blessings that you deserve. Make space for the new perspective that you might need. Make space for this new person or people to step forward and enter your life. Make space for your heart to open to a new experience. Make space for your heart to connect in a new way. Breathe into that. Draw the fullness of your breath into this intention. Draw the fullness of your breath deep into your heart. This is where intention lies. Breathe into it. Bring it forward into your heart, into your mind. See yourself. Visualize yourself stepping forward into this new intention, this fresh perspective. See yourself receiving the gifts of tomorrow. See the gifts of yesterday converting themselves, changing themselves, becoming a blessing. And know that you deserve to be joyful. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to receive all of the blessings that your heart desires. Make space for yourself to receive them. And tuning your awareness once again to the breath. So beneath all of that consideration, that pause, find the breath again. Sense the calm and tranquil quality of your breath. And as you exhale your breath, allow yourself to really let it be a breath that is cleansing. This is a breath of letting go. As you receive your breath in, allow it to fill you up with the light, the promise of tomorrow. The light, the promise of what is already on its way. As you exhale, let go of anything that no longer serves you. Just let it disappear, drop away, dissolve. As you inhale, receive the light. Exhale, let go. Inhale, receive the fullness. Let yourself be received into the fullness of life. Stay in this breath, really allowing the breath to be a vehicle to express this intention of letting go of what no longer serves you and entering into a greater promise, entering into the version of yourself that is more authentic, more sincere, the version of yourself that welcomes love and joy and fullness and real connection. You see yourself entering into that part of ourselves. It's already there, but we really just embrace it. How can we embrace it more? Begin to reach the end of our meditation. Gathering yourself back in. And place your hands at your heart to Anjali Mudra. Anjali Mudra is placing the intention of our hearts in front of ourselves. The heart in front of the heart. At this sacred time of the year, the threshold of the equinox, we let go of what no longer serves us. We step forward to the blessings, the promise, the greatness before us, within us. We trust in the grace, the auspicious nature of the universe to support us as we move forward. Deep love, acknowledging the light of your own heart. We gently bow. Namaste.